Hey everyone, got another video here for you. As a corporate slash fractional pilot, I'm often asked during my week out or my tour out, if you will, where exactly do I go? What do we do? Well, the quick answer is we go everywhere, and there is no normal. Like, we're not like an airline where we fly between the same places, day in and day out. We go pretty much everywhere. However, there are a few places that we tend to go to a lot. And I just this particular week I started in one of those places. I am based here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I don't live there. I live near there, but for argument's sake, that's where I started. And I flew on the airlines to Newark, New Jersey, which is right about there, and caught a cab up to Teterboro, New Jersey. Now, Teterboro Airport is the airport that all the business folks who are going into New York City use to fly in with their private jets. It's got very easy road access, helicopter service to New York City. So they tend to use that airport, and it's much easier in and out generally than LaGuardia or JFK or Newark. So they tend to use that airport. It's one of the busiest corporate airports in the country. It does not have airline service. It's only private airplanes. So we got there. The airplane that we were assigned was in maintenance for the day, so it was kind of unusual. We didn't do anything. So we basically went to the hotel, had dinner, and next morning got up, and we had a trip. It was another easy day, very unusual. Don't worry, it gets better. In the afternoon, so this is day 2 of our tour, we had a trip, just a couple people actually, down to West Palm Beach, Florida, which is right about there. So that flight took longer than normal because this week that I was out, there were some really strong winds that were coming about like this. So we had incredibly strong at about 150 knots. So we had a pretty good headwind of about 85 knots ish. So I don't remember exactly how long. It was close to 3 hours it took us to get down there. It was brutal. But we made it down there, and it was beautiful, 75, 80 degrees, and I'd been in the cold for the last couple of weeks, so it was very much appreciated. We got in there, again, late afternoon, went to the hotel, had dinner outside by the lake at the hotel we stayed at, which was really nice. And but, of course, next morning was bright and early. I believe it was about a 6 a.m. takeoff, so that means we got to get up at about 4, be at the airport by 5. And we flew from West Palm Beach down here to La Ramona, I guess that's how you say it, in Dominican Republic. So that flight was a couple hours, I think. It wasn't that long. And that was a reposition, or meaning we didn't have any passengers on board. It was just the crew. Flew down there, and we picked up a family of 7. And from there, we took them, guess where? Right back to West Palm Beach. And they got off, I think we dropped off 2 people there, cleared customs, which can be entertaining at times there, but this time was no different. But we got through customs and dropped off our passengers, took on a little bit of fuel, and continued on our way up to Norfolk, Virginia. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. I gotta go here. So come on, lines, work with me. Why are you not letting me move? I don't want you. I want you. So anyway, I can't get the line to work. So from there, here we go. We went on up to, the dog's barking, Norfolk, Virginia. Spent the night in Norfolk. I can't remember what time we got in there. It wasn't real early, but it wasn't real late. But then again, of course, the next morning, we had a bright and early trip from Norfolk down to Montego Bay, Jamaica. And from there, we picked up, again, let's see, that was ORF 2, Mike Kilo Juliet Sierra, I believe it was Montego Bay. And so from there we went, picked up a family. They were there. It took us. They were a little bit late, I think the passengers were. So we had to go to. We got our fuel and catering and all that good stuff. And from there we went to. Where did we go? We went over here to New Orleans. And in New Orleans, again, we cleared customs and got our fuel. And I think we actually did pick up some catering. What does identify for MSY? And kept on going. Now, the end destination for this trip was Dallas Love Airport, which is right around there. And you're probably asking, why didn't we just go straight to Dallas? Well, we had 7 passengers, and when we have 7 passengers on the particular airplane that I fly, we have to cut back on the amount of fuel we can take so that we stay below our maximum gross takeoff weight. Because we had such strong winds that week, it was just going to be a little too tight with reserve fuel. So rather than, try to make it, we just decided it'd be quicker and easier to just go to New Orleans, make a fuel stop, and then go on. And it turned out to be just fine. So passengers were happy. They got to where they needed to be. And everybody was good. When we got to Dallas, they actually had another trip for us, surprisingly. And it was down here it was a live leg to Lake Charles, Louisiana. It was a quick one, just out an hour, maybe a little under. Right there. So we got there. I don't remember the identifier for Lake Charles. So we spent the night, and it was again a short night. And then from there we went to we'll call it LCH. That sounds good. Lake Charles. Then next morning, bright and early, Lake Charles reposition leg all the way up here to keep going, Fred the pilot. Don't stop yet. Where are you? We're looking for you. We're gonna find you. Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is for some reason not showing up on the big picture here. Where are you at? Oh, it's because it's over here. And here we go. Jackson. Bang. So that was KLCH2KJAC. Let's see, that flight was, again, right at about 3 hours of reposition, which we hate to do those long ones, but on the busy, this was a busy week, a lot of holiday travel, so unfortunately you end up with a lot of airplanes in one part of the country, and it's always the wrong part of the country, so you end up with these longer reposition legs. So we get there, we picked up a family. The holidays, it's always families. And we flew them down to San Diego, Lindbergh Field, right there. That was about 2 hours, maybe 2:20, and yeah, easy. Great weather down in San Diego, no issues there. I apologize for the dog barking. I'm gonna have to work on that. I'm new to this. So there we took on some fuel, got some food, and headed up to Sun Valley, Idaho on a reposition leg. And Haley right there. Actually, it's right about there. And I have to apologize. My internet is very slow. So that's why it's kind of taking me a minute to drag around here. Oh, we just lost that leg, didn't we? We got to do it again. I don't like having to fly these trips twice. I'm just going to guess and say it's right there. So that trip was, again, about 2 hours going up there to Sun Valley. It's SUN. And picked up just 2 people this time. It was really nice. No food, no catering, so not a big lot of cleanup. And we went down to Santa Monica, California, which is right about there. And again, that was right at about 2 hours. Got to Santa Monica, spent the night. I can't remember what day we're on now. Probably day 6 of our tour. And got up bright and early again. Actually, yeah, it was bright and early, wasn't it? Yeah, we had to be at the airport at 6. You can't take off from Santa Monica until 7 a.m. because of the noise abatement rules. So, yeah, it was a 6 a.m. show. So we get there and we repositioned down to Cabo San Lucas. So we went down to this airport down here. I can't remember the identifier, to be honest with you. So that was KSMO to, I'm just going to put Mike, was it Sierra Delta? I think for Cabo San Lucas, the main airport. Oh, well, we'll call it that. And picked up, it was actually, I believe it was about 6 people. And it was 2 groups of husband and wives. They're all from Connecticut. And they'd gone down there. They had a villa at Cabo. And they were down there for the New Year's and headed home. So we picked them up and flew to Houston, Texas. And in Houston, we cleared customs. And again, took on some fuel. And picked up some more food. And made our way up to Oxford, Connecticut, which is, I'm going to guess, right about, let's see, there's Hartford, Waterbury. Where's Hartford? Or where's Oxford? It is, should be right about, well, we can't find it right now. I thought it was just south of Hartford here. Oh, there it is. Oxford. So that's what we did. We went Houston to Oxford, which is OXC maybe, I think. Oh, well, call it that. And then spent the night. We got in there late. This was right when the bitter cold had just moved through this front. And it was, I want to say, 2 degrees Fahrenheit, which is cold. And so needless to say, we weren't real happy with that. It was windy, and trying to get the airplane, covered up and shut down for the night was quite a challenge. Fortunately, they had a hangar for us, so we didn't have to take everything off the airplane that freezes, because if you're in these freezing temperatures, if you've got Cokes and water and all this stuff, it'll all freeze and bust and make a huge mess. So you've got to empty all that stuff out if you don't have a hangar. And in some of the bigger planes I've flown where you actually have a water system for the lavatory, you've got to drain that, and that's quite a challenge. And so these freezing temperatures are challenging at times. But we had a hangar secured, so we didn't have to fool with any of that. That was day 7. So the next day was day 8, which is our last day to go home. Woke up kind of late. They didn't have any trips for us. This was on the, I want to say the 4th or 5th. And so we got a airlines to go from, or I did at least. I went from Hartford, and airline, fortunately, which doesn't happen often, straight back to Pittsburgh. Got home about 5:30 in the afternoon, which was kind of nice. It's pretty early. Normally it's much later than that. So that's kind of what, I would say that's typical-ish of a tour. You can kind of see what it looks like there. We kind of hit all corners of the country just about. We generally, in the plane I'm flying, we generally fly shorter legs than this. This week was a lot of longer legs for us. We'll normally see maybe a day or two of hopping around California, LA, Oakland, San Jose, San Diego, up and down. Then, this time of the year you hit the mountains a lot, Aspen, which we didn't go to Aspen this week, surprisingly. Vail or Eagle. And so, there you go. That's kind of a typical week. That's what it looks like. I really wanted to calculate the miles it was going, but I couldn't figure out how to get, I don't think Google Maps will do that. So, but there you go. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below. Please subscribe and rate and comment if you would. Again, Fred the Pilot, take care, and see you next time.